Okay. Microphone. This one's better. Okay. So if you look at the homework, I'm sure you haven't started 6A yet, right?
I gotta go through a lot of homework after this class.
Well, there's no 6-1. There's 6A is the only it jumped from 5-5.
Yeah, I did do 5-4, 5-5.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. I thought we were like on with 5-4. I started it,
Mhm.
and I thought we left off, but then I
Oh.
looked at the book and I saw 5-5. I was like, oh, did do this, and I was like, holy crap. Yeah, man.
I see you thought we were starting 5-5.
Yeah, I thought I forgot we had did it.
Oh yeah, I get it. I forgot too, man.
I'll be all right, man. I'll catch up real quick.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're doing good. But let's just look at what the heck is an Euler diagram. So we kind of been doing them already, like the little circles.
Yeah.
So here, you see the W is this inner circle and Q is the outer circle.
Yeah.
So which of these statements are true in your homework? Some Q are W. Well, I guess that's true, but which one best matches? All Q are W. No, that's not true because some of the Q is outside the W, right? No W are Q. Like, well, no, because W is inside the Q. So all of W are Q. I don't know why it's phrased that way, but it sounds strange. But if we use normal English, right? All W is inside Q. I think D is the one that makes most sense. Okay. So if you go back to the workbook, all dogs are happy. So that's like a set of a big circle that contains nothing but happy dogs, right? Sam is a dog. So we don't know if Sam is happy, but it could be part of it, or they could be separate. So write a conclusion to make the following arguments valid if possible. If it is not possible, state so. Okay. So let's keep looking at this homework before we get to that. So here's another one. W and Q are completely separate. Yeah, no W. Yeah, this is called mutually exclusive. They are separate.
So it's only like if they're connected or overlapping each other is when they're
yeah, that's
they're connected and they have some or all.
Exactly, yeah. Some Q or some W if they overlap. Like this guy. Some Q are in W, right? So A is true. All Q is not inside W, so that's false. C is false. All right, let me make this a little bigger. And D is false because some of it is in Q. So the only one that makes sense is the A, right? So that's all they really want you to do. At the beginning, the first few homework problems, that's all they want. On this guy, it says some queens are content. Okay. All content people are intelligent. Well, okay. Choose the correct answer below. Therefore, all queens are intelligent. Is that statement true? Using this information here, does that make logical sense? Yeah, it's just some of them, right, are content. So not all queens are content. All content people are intelligent. See B, therefore all intelligent people are content queens. All intelligent people. Well, not all intelligent people are queens, right? So I don't think that makes sense. Remember, what this is doing is going through arguments, statements, trying to see, using this information, what is the argument and does it make sense? C, therefore, no content queens are intelligent. Well, that sounds wrong too. D, it is not possible to write a valid conclusion. Sometimes that happens if they write something that makes no sense. Like that Sam is a dog. I'm like, I don't know what to do with that. There's nothing we can do. E, therefore, some queens are intelligent. I feel like E is a statement that we can draw, is a conclusion we can draw from those two statements, right? Because some queens are content and content people are intelligent, and that means some of the queens are intelligent, right? I want to say E. Let's see. Yeah. Does that make sense what they're asking here? Because it's a little weird. When I first started reading these, I'm like, what do you want me to do here? You know? But
I have to kind of put it like in the graph. It sounds like
mhm.
all people are like the big one and then some is the smaller one.
Yeah, we should create the Euler diagram. That would be helpful. Let's try it that way just for fun. So all people are content. All right, so I'll make a circle here. This is my content people. Some queens are content, so that means some of them will be in here, right? The queens. So there is some overlapping for sure. So the ones in here would be what? Yeah, intelligent, content queens, right? Content, intelligent queens. So this may help visualize what's going on, right? And I think that's a good idea to draw it out.
Yeah, visual person.
Yeah, like I think most people are, and we should do it that way. So, you know, most people are not weirdos like me, so just draw it out. Anyway, does this make sense? Okay. Let's see here. All business people are sad. Okay. So we got, let's say, BS. We'll call it BS, sad business people. Some sad people are intelligent. Okay. We'll call it SI over here. Oh, actually, you know what? I can use those nice circles instead. I forgot. Because those circles are garbage. Try that again. It's a little better, right? Okay. Okay, so we call this one BS or SB if you want. This would be SI. All right. All business people are sad. So there's a sad business people. Sad or intelligent. Okay. So if you're intelligent, so what would be this middle part? Is there a middle part? Because right now I'm assuming they overlap, but that might not be true. Let's first start with that. Could you be both?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this drawing's okay, right? So there is an intersection. What would be the intersection?
That they're sad. Or sad here, but intelligent.
So there'd be business people that are sad and intelligent, right? Okay. All right, so now let's go through these arguments. Therefore, some business people are intelligent. Like, well, I guess that's true, right?
It doesn't mention the sentence.
It doesn't. So, but we'll think about that one, maybe. B, it's not possible. I think it might be. I'm gonna cross that one out. Therefore, some intelligent people are sad business people. Yeah, right. I like this one. D, therefore, some intelligent people some intelligent people are business people. It doesn't mention the sad again, right? So I think you're right about that idea. E, therefore, some sad business people are intelligent. I want to say C. What do you guys think? Do you think another one makes more sense? Yeah, I guess so, huh? Because it this one mentions the sad business. And so does this one, right? Intelligent. Some intelligent people. Yeah, because it said all business people are sad, so we should just call them sad business people, right? And not all of them are intelligent, so some intelligent makes sense. Saying some sad business doesn't really make sense because they're all sad. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be C. Oops. Oh, wow, wrong. Why? Let me see. Maybe they're both. Maybe there is no conclusion. What's the answer? There's not possible. Interesting. Why is it not possible? Let's think about this. All business people are sad. Some sad people are intelligent. That's weird. I think you can write a conclusion. Maybe it's not a good one, but we can. Disagree with this guy. Where's the okay. Let me clear this. In the workbook, they have a few problems where you gotta do draw the circles, 7, 8, 9, which I think isn't too bad. Drawing the diagrams made sense, right? Like on number 7, it says some roses are red. Some roses smell sweet. Therefore, some red roses smell sweet. Is that statement valid? Do these circles overlap? So one circle should be some roses are red, some roses smell sweet. Therefore, some red roses smell sweet. So I'm gonna make this red rose here. Call it RR. And roses that smell sweet, we'll just say it's not red, but they're sweet. So I think this statement is valid. There should be some red roses that are sweet, and they should overlap here. I don't think there's anything wrong with this argument. So we have to, I guess, read it and see, are they making an assumption that can't be drawn from those two statements? So when they say stuff like, okay, can they truly make that assumption? Or does that last statement have anything to do with what they gave you? So that's what you're looking for. Like if they would have said, therefore blue roses smell sweet, like, well, that doesn't make any sense. They didn't talk about blue. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're looking for. Something that doesn't make logical sense. And then we can.
Like all roses smell sweet, and it's like other
Mhm.
so like other colors, I must have learned.
Yeah. Yeah, this one like it could be. Like if they would have said all roses smell sweet and some are red, then I would say for sure this is valid. But right now it looks like it could go either way. Like absolute helps kind of narrow down. Like number 8, it says no rectangle is an oval. So that's an absolute statement. All circles are ovals. Therefore, no rectangle is a circle. So like that is super clear. Like you gave me 2 strong statements and you made an assumption that is true. Like I would say 8 is valid without question. 7, I want to say yes, but there's not enough for me to be like I'm super sure like number 8. Number 9, let's see. All people who are not studying are asleep. Okay. Maria will not be asleep if she is worried. Therefore, if Maria is worried, then she will be studying. All people who are not studying are asleep. Okay. Maria will not be asleep if she is worried. Do you guys think that's valid? Yeah.
It's not just 2 things, you just studying the 2 things. It's like worrying or procrastinating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to say invalid too. Yeah, number 9 is it's not valid. So for sure 8, without question. This one, it's not really cleared, but just because you're awake does not mean I'm going to be studying. And yeah, they threw too much stuff in here. 7, I want to say yes, but it is not enough. There's not enough there. Okay. Now let's start reviewing for test 2. I think that'd be best at the time we got. Okay. I'll try to give you there's going to be 22 questions. Some are short, some are a little medium. There's also a review already in there, but let me try to give you some more heads up to help you out. There's only one question on those statements and arguments, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. I think like the last one. Let me open up questions here. This weather's been weird. Like I don't know when to turn the heater off or when to put the AC on.
I have to go home and either turn it off, put the heater on, leave it on.
I know, like damn it. Like I've been I set up the ones that you can control with the phone. So I'm like I was turning it off and changing it while I'm at work. So I want to just leave it off the whole day, but I have chinchillas and they have to be cold. So I can't just leave the house to get hot. Like I want to save energy and save money, but they'll die. They love being because they have like little fur coats. You know?
Are they soft?
Yeah, they're the softest thing I've ever felt. It's like softer than rabbits. Yeah.
I never liked rabbits. They're like, they don't treat them right, which like my family's never do. Like they're so mean.
Yeah, they take. I think that when you have a rabbit, you gotta like from when they're babies, just always have them with you. You know, otherwise it'll be like kind of mean about it. Like I have one mean chinchilla, and the other one's nice, but I think it's because we played with them all the time. The albino one is evil. But yeah, they're immune to fleas because their hair follicles have so many. Each pore has so many follicles that the fleas can't get in there to bite. It's just like fur armor. It's kind of funny. Yeah, it's like so weird. Okay. And I think that's their defense. Like if the animal tries to bite them, like they just rip up hair and they run off.
Do they go back?
Yeah, it goes back pretty quick. Okay, where is that? Open up the exam so I can see which things to focus on. Help you out here. It says froze on me. 1 second. Yeah, so exam 2 is all the way to 6-8. So all the last thing they have was those arguments, which is only like one. Let me open it up. The first section was 4.1 through, was it 6.8 you said, right? Yeah. So that's all the sections. So 4.1 stuff will be about patterns. You guys remember those little pattern questions? It should be pretty chill. So let's do one of them from the homework. You could open it up here. That might be easier. So you can see it. First homework is inductive reasoning right here. So remember how we had patterns and then we had some graphs, 4.1. So you have at least one of the patterns and like 2 or 3 graph problems. So let's do pattern type. Oh, here it is. Something like this. Like identify the pattern, given the list of numbers. So gonna be multiple choice. So all you're gonna have to do is find the next number. So what is the last number here? When we did it, I went more in depth so you can see how it works. But on the test, you just ask for that last number. What is the pattern? Because that'll help you find it, right?
It jumps up a lot.
It does jump up.
Because it goes from 396, 927 is 18.
Mhm. Yeah, it's powers of 3. That's why it's jumping so much. It's a power function or a power sequence, I should say. So the first one is 3 to the first power, which gives you a 3. The second one is 3 squared, which is a 9.
And 27 is 30.
So the missing spot is what, the 6th spot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the answer would be 3 to the 6. What is 3 to the 6? So 3 to the first is the first one, 3 to the second, then it goes all the way to 3 to the 6.
It makes 729.
729. Okay, let me write this down. Okay, let me delete that. So, what'd you get? 729. So this is 3 to the first, 3 to the second, 3 to the third, 3 to the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all you gotta do is give me this guy. Okay, so you'll have one question like that. They're not, I mean, the patterns could be anything. It could be just adding things, could be multiplying by 2 or by 3, or it could be powers. To try to think about it for a bit when you're doing it. Okay. Let's double check everything else. Those are patterns. Okay. So I think that's all they're gonna ask for 4-1. Just I have one question on, tell me the next number. Okay. 4-2, let's go through it. They're gonna ask about the graphs. So basically they wanna know, can you read a graph and answer a question about what's going on? So that's what, like, next, probably like 2 questions about something like that. Be finding one that's similar. The rounding question. Where are the graphs? Here's one. So an online test of English spelling looked at how well people spell difficult words. The bar graph to the right shows how many people per 100 spelled each word correctly. The word weird, cemetery, accommodation. Okay, I guess these are weird words to spell, I suppose, or strange words. So the question is, how many people, approximate number of people per 100 who spelled the word weird correctly? So all they want you to do is go to the weird and read the graph. So they're just testing you. Can you read the graph? Looks like what? 70, right? About 70 per 100. Let's see if it likes 70. Okay. Examine the bar carefully. Let's just give me the answer. So I was off by a little bit. But anyway, I thought they wanted it in hundreds, but they don't. But anyway, I don't think those are crazy difficult. All I want you to do is read the graph. Okay. So from 4.2, be able to read information from a graph. So something simple like that. And if you're off by a little bit, just let me know. I'll give you points back. And like I wouldn't mark it wrong if you did 80 and it's supposed to be 85. That's dumb. But if that happens, you let me know. So you have about 2 questions like this. Okay. Okay, and then after that, it moves on to word problems. Let's see what 4.3 is about. I don't think they have that here. Let's see. Yeah, this is all just graphs. I think it's 4.3 after that. I'm not gonna ask about. Remember how we had all the weird problem solving techniques like the Polya step, all that. Like that's not gonna be on there, but you'll have questions. You'll have word problems that might require you to use techniques, but if you don't use the techniques, but you still solve it, that's fine. But I'm not gonna question you on the actual definitions of those techniques. Does that make sense? Okay, so yeah, something like this. The salesperson receives a weekly salary of $500. In addition, $20 is paid for every item sold in excess of 200 items. How much extra is received from the sale of 213? So they want you to basically solve the word problem. You'll have two questions like this. So in a week, they make $500, right? So, sure, write that down. So I make $500 in a week. That's the ugliest 5 ever. In addition, I make $20 for every item after 200. So how many were after 200? Right, we sold 213. So there's 13. They're only going to count the 13 after 200. So you would put 13 because I make 20. I get an extra $20 bonus every item I sell after 200. So multiply this and I'll get my bonus, and this is my regular paycheck, and that'll be my total. Which piece of information? Okay. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, I went straight to solving. I didn't read the question. Which piece of information is not necessary to solve the problem? Okay, well, I'm already solving it. So, and I used everything, right? So I want to say, how much extra is received from the cell? Oh, okay. They didn't ask for the total. They said how much extra is received. So when we do these, we need to read the question carefully. I made an assumption that they wanted the total salary because that's what I wanted to know. They didn't ask for that. So how much extra is received from cell of 213? So I don't need to know this, do I? All they need, so I don't need this at all. They just need they need this. So all they want to know is my bonus. So I don't need a weekly salary. Everything else I need. If they would have said what is the total that person made, then I would have used everything, but they didn't ask for it. Okay, so let's try it. So you will have a question and they're just going to ask you, okay, what is unnecessary here? And you just say, oh, well, this piece. Then the next part, they say how much extra is received, and then you multiply 13 times 20. Nothing crazy. Anyway, does that make sense? So I have a bad habit of that, of trying to solve something before I've read everything. Like I just want to jump in. A lot of my students do the same thing, so I get it because I do it too. My boss gets mad when I don't read the email all the way. Oh, wait a minute. All she wanted was this piece. I need to understand the question. When you're doing word problems, that's the most important part. Do you know what they're asking? Otherwise, you're solving the wrong thing. Right? Okay, so 4.3, make you a note here. Able to identify what is not needed in a word problem. Okay. Of course, be able to solve one. All right, so that's one there. Yeah, it's pretty much all about, that's all for 4.3, and I think 4.4, let me see. What is 4.4? So long ago. Four is problem solving, so, oh, no, that's 4.3. Where is 4.4? Maybe there isn't any, I'm just making stuff up. Okay, I bet. So 4.3 is word problems. 4.2, look at the syllabus. That should be keep me straight there. Yeah. So 4.3 is all about the 4-step problem solving technique, identifying what's needed, and then solving word problems. So there's not, it's not 2 sections, just one. So 5.1 is when we get to the sets. So after that, so you'll have probably these first these first few sections. So this right here, this material would cover maybe 4 questions. And then after that, it's all about sets. Okay. 5.1 starts off pretty chill. It's more about notation, first question. Like, here, let me show you. So make sure you know all, or at least put it on a formula sheet or something, know all the notation for sets, all the symbols. Otherwise, you won't know what they're asking, right? Okay, 5.1. Five worst U.S. vice presidents. Okay, right here. Question like this, you see number 4A on page 65 in the workbook. They'll ask you, is this statement true or false? Right. Remember we said that symbol, the epsilon, means element of, right? So is 3 an element of this set?
Yeah.
So you would say true. That's all you got to do. If it's in there, true. If there's a line through it, that means is 15 not in there? Well, looks like it is. So this would be false. Okay, does that make sense? So you have like probably one or two questions like that, pretty straightforward. So that's what I mean by no other notation here. Now, next thing is no, I don't know if that's 5-1 though. Let me see. Did they talk about cardinality here? Or did we do that later? Yeah, we did right there. Let's put our number instead. Okay. Number 2, find the cardinal number of a set. Do you remember what cardinal number meant? It was just a fancy word, but it's super easy to do. You have a reminder in case you forgot. Part number of a set, all it means is the total number of elements inside of it. How big is the set? All it means right here. So, where is that workbook? Determine the cardinal number of the following set. So for 7a, what would you say is a cardinal number? How many elements are in there? Remember, you can't count the same thing twice. If you see something repeated, it counts as 1. So whenever you think of a set, think of a list of items, right? Like if I was taking attendance and I said, and I call the same person twice, that's not 2 students. That's the same person, right? So here we have 1 appear twice. So you would say there's 1, 2, 3, 5, 8 elements. So total of 5 elements. Does that make sense? So that's all you gotta do is you have a question like that, I will ask about cardinal number. Okay, I think that's it for 5-1 though. Let's see if I can hit all the section before we run out of time here. Ouch. 5-2 is subsets. So you will have subset questions. Let's see what's it doing. By the way, on page 70 of the workbook, they have all the notation for sets. So if you don't have it written down somewhere, it's on page 70. and 71. Okay. And when we're talking about subsets, and they ask you, is this a subset of something else? It needs to be a set, right? If it's not a set, then why am I talking about subsets? Like, for example, 2A and 2B are not subsets, those are elements. 2C, Oklahoma, is written inside of a set. So that is a set. So if on an exam you see, is this a subset of that? Then you would use, that would be this symbol right here. Oklahoma is a subset of this one because Oklahoma is in here. Also, okay, so 2 seconds. Do it small. And you remember when we had when we made all the subsets of one set? I don't know if you guys saw that or not. Like you have 3 elements. Each of those elements is a subset of that set. And then you can have 2 of those or 3 and just combination, combine them. Different sets. For example, I could say Arkansas and Louisiana inside of a set is a subset of this one here. This one right here. I could also say Arkansas, New Mexico is a subset of this. Arkansas, Oklahoma is a subset. Arkansas, Louisiana, New Mexico is a subset. You can say itself, entire thing is a subset. You can do every combination. As long as you don't repeat yourself, those are all subsets. And I gave you a formula that said the total number of subsets of any set is 2 to the n. The number of proper subset is 2 to the n minus 1. So let me write it down for you just in case. Total number of subsets is 2 to the n, where n is the total number of elements. Total number of proper subsets is 2 to the n, and then you subtract 1. And we subtract 1 because this 2 to the n counts itself, but using itself as a subset is not proper. It's not a proper one because they're equal. Okay, so they have questions and they'll ask you, okay, is this set a subset of that? You'll say yes or no. You'll use the correct symbol. For example, number 1 on homework 5.2. Is this a subset of the other set? Which one would you choose? Not a subset or a subset? It looks like it's the bigger one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So 2, 4, 5 is inside there. If it is inside there, you would say subset. That's all you would do. So you have a question like that, for sure. Okay. Then they'll have questions like about Venn diagrams. Let's move on to that, I think. That's worth talking about here. find one real quick. There we go. Here's a Venn diagram. So yeah, something like this on your exam. Let's say use this, and then they'll ask you. Yeah, so what is inside set A? Right. So you're just gonna write these elements right here. So nothing crazy. So 2, 5, 8, 11. So pretty easy, right? If I give you a picture and I tell you what's inside A or what's not in A, you just write it down. Okay. You guys remember what complement means? Complement was that? Like if I told you to write down a complement, do you know what that means? I believe it comes up here, maybe 5-4. Yeah, here we go. Here's one of them. So here it says A union B complement. So that means everything outside the union. So make sure you understand what is a union, what is intersection, what is complement. So if you don't remember, I would write down the formulas or a visual. So union means you're combining them together. Complement means everything outside of that. So what is everything outside the union? There's only two things, right? So these two outside. So that'll be your answer. Just don't forget, because there will be questions about complement. I'll give you a set. I might not even give you a picture. I might just give you a list and say, what is the complement of this thing? Okay. So you may, if it helps you, draw the circles yourself. If you don't need to, that's up to you. We did a lot of these last time. It might be I think the next ones are 5-4. All right, let me try to finish off 5-2 here. Determine what is or is not a subset. Five 5.3. Be able to find the union, intersection, and complements of sets. List elements of a set they ask about. Okay. So 5-4. You guys clear on what to expect on 5-1, 5-2, 5-3. Is that obvious? I'm trying to be as helpful as I can. Let me know if something doesn't make sense. So 5-4 was with the more complex intersections and complements operations, and then they had the diagrams that are more difficult. Let's see here. So you're gonna have questions like this. So they'll give you a U, A, B, C, and they'll ask you, okay, what is a C union with A and B? Okay. Or they'll say C complement union with A intersect B. We did a bunch of those in the last lecture.
One will get through in circles.
Yeah, you'll get something like this, and they'll ask you what is. I'm sorry. They give you this information on top. Then they'll ask you what is A intersect B. What is? Yeah. So either draw yourself or just write it down, whatever you want. And then they'll say, okay, well, what about A complement intersect B? So stuff like that we did last time. You guys want to do any of those? Do you remember? Is it doable? What are your thoughts on those types of questions?
I just get confused on the symbols, like this, you know what I mean?
Okay. Like on part A. So yeah, I guess that's I would make a note for sure. Let's see here. Like the intersect, right? This one. This is what they have in common. So if you see that, they have in common. Union is when you combine them. So A intersect B would be what do they have in common, right? So this one right here can create that set. Look at A and B. And I think only 3 and 5, no? Oh, 3, 5, 7, right? 3, 5, 7. The 3, 5, 7 is the intersection. So then they say, okay, well, what if you combine that with C? So you have 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. On space. Can I move that? One, two. Okay. So C is 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, right? And we said they have A intersect B was 3, 5, 7. So when you combine these together, you just make a bigger set, right? Just don't repeat anything. 1,
That was 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8.
yeah, 5, 7, 8. So this would be your answer. So it helps to either A, draw it out, and but it would take some time because there's a lot of elements, but you could. Or I think in class what we did, we found the intersections of each one and the union of each one, just had them already. Assuming they had like a multi-part question. But if you read the question and there's only one of them, then you don't have to make all that information. Like if I would ask, I don't know, let's say I made my own question. What is A complement union B? So I'm just gonna ignore this. So first find not A, right? What's not inside A? One, 4, right?
Oh, wrong for me, only for me, right?
Only not A, yeah, not inside the A, but is everything outside of it, because U is everything total.
Okay.
So we gotta put everything there, right?
So would it be 9 also?
Yeah. So now union that with B. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9.
And you just make one big, so it would be 1, 4, 1, 3, 4, 5.
1, 3, 4.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. So as long as you know what the symbols mean, it's not too bad, right? So just make sure you don't forget. So I would write down all the symbols for sets like element, intersection, subsets, all that stuff. Just put them somewhere on your formula page. So that'll be all 5-4 stuff like that. They might also give you a picture. So they'll give you something that's like this without a picture. Okay. Then you'll have one like this one. Here. Okay. So giving all this information, what is a complement? Right, so you'd write everything outside the A complement. W T M N H K Q B. So the question is, can you looking at the diagram, can you pull out the information like A intersects C, B union C, that type of stuff? Okay. They have a couple, they have like 2 with a graph and 2 without a graph. Like the last one just did. Then the last few will be, last 4 will be from 5, 5, and then that 1 from the arguments. So I think we're almost out of time here. Look up 5-5 really quick. Here we go. So you have something like this, and they say, all right, here's a survey, a bunch of people like Star Wars, Star Trek, or whatever, and then they'll ask you, okay, well, given that information, how many students liked Star Wars, but not Star Trek or something? Okay, so just a separate one. Or how many people like both? Okay. And then you'll have something like these. I think it's in here. Something like this. It'll ask you how many elements are in, let's say, I, but not in 3. So you just count, well, that's the 95. Right, it'd be this part. All right, guys. I think we got about 95% of it. I hope that helps you. Get it done as soon as you can, because we're gonna move on.
Test?
Yeah, get test 2.
That's not for quiz 2, yeah.
That's for test 2. There is a couple of quizzes out open as well. I don't remember how many, but just gonna knock those out too. But we went over exam 2 stuff. We'll be doing a lot of exam 3 material on Thursday. Okay. All right, guys. I'll see you Thursday.